Well, hello, Saltines. Hi. Audrey on the road. I'm on the road today. But I wanted to stop. Hubby's out doing something. I'm in the truck. We're traveling today. But I really wanted to talk to you about this Delphi murder case that we've been talking about for 5 years since it started. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, though, please hit the like button for this particular video. It helps the channel to grow, as well as subscribing. Subscribing to the channel helps it grow as well. So we're almost to 1,000 subs. That'll be very exciting. A lot of times once you hit that 1,000, the channel really starts growing faster than before. So I appreciate every single one of you that hits that button. So thank you for that. And then don't forget to share the video. I don't have any jewelry on from my website today, but just a reminder, go check out my website of vintage jewelry. It's designer vintage jewelry, and it's beautiful stuff, all kinds of price ranges. And if you're not in the shopping mood or you just can't spend money right now, sign up for the free newsletter. You'll get a newsletter from me once a month, just featuring an item and just a little history on some jewelry and stuff. So just another way to hang out with you and communicate over some pretty things. Okay, so where do we start with this case? I pissed off. Sorry, we're right by an airport. What airline is that? I upset a lot of people when this case happened, and I will still stand by what I said in this case. This is in Delphi, Indiana. I didn't exactly know where Indiana was before this case happened, but I know where it's at now. So when this happened, I was and I'm still not happy with the adults who were in charge of these two girls. So I am talking about a murder of two teenage girls, ages 13 and 14, Libby German and Abby Williams. 13 and 14 years old, just getting their life together, you know? I mean, just not even that, high school age yet, or just freshman high school. Your life hasn't even really begun at that point. And when I saw the land and the situation of where these girls were killed, I said, who in the right mind would drop your kids off to get murdered? Because I'm sorry, not sorry. I would never drop anybody off where these girls were dropped off to go get murdered. And you know what? If I sound judgmental, then I am. But I am sick to death of people not taking care of children. These girls were 13 and 14, but that doesn't mean anything. They're just kids. They don't know about the dangers and possibilities of different things happening to them. You remember what you were like at that age? Even 10 years later, we thought we were invincible in our 20s. That's just our brains. Our brains aren't developed enough at that point. Even a full-grown woman shouldn't be out on this trail, this walking trail, by herself. But everyone was on my case saying things like, well, it's a small town, Audrey. We know everybody. No, that's not true. You think you know everybody. You know a version of everybody. It's like the Chris Watts case. Oh, he was such a nice guy, just so quiet. No, he's a murderer. mean, how many times do we have to go through this? How many times do we have to hear about someone else being murdered? Look at this crazy guy who killed his 3 boys out in the front yard. Oh, God, that's another video. That's another horrible, horrible, horrible situation. And being an educator, I'm always going to side with the kids. I'm always going to be on what's safest for the children. So I made it known when Libby and Abby were murdered in 2017. I let it be known who the murderer was. Nobody believed me. No one wanted to hear it. Everyone said, no, it's got to be someone who doesn't even live in the town. It's nobody we know. No one we know would do this. If it was somebody we know, they would have saved the girls if they saw something going on. I don't know why some people just live in a fantasy world. Everyone lives next door to somebody, basically, unless you live out in the country or something. And I don't want to say don't be so trusting, but don't be stupid. Don't be gullible. You have to assume no one's safe. I'm sorry. That's how the world we live in works. That's what we're up against. I'm sitting in a car in front of a stranger's house right now. I don't think they're safe. I got my doors locked. I don't know who these people are. My husband's close by, but still, I don't care. I'm still locking my doors. And it doesn't make me nervous or upset or, I don't feel like I'm in a third world country. This is just how the world is. You lock your doors. You don't put yourself or others in potentially dangerous situations. And I feel like Libby and Abby were failed by the adults in their life. And that's unfortunate. Yes, this Richard Allen is the one that killed them. And the way it works with me interacting with spirit, I can go by a photo, I can go by a video with no sound, I can go with just the audio of a video, or just some audio of someone's voice. And as soon as I heard Richard Allen's voice, I knew he did it. No question, it was him. I could feel the murder in his voice. I know that doesn't make sense, but his voice still gives me the creeps when I re-listen to what he said in that clip that was caught on the cell phone of one of the girls. I can't remember which girl had her phone out. It was the younger one, I believe, who had her phone out, and she was recording walking over this trestle where Richard Allen saw them and told them, quote, "Guys, downhill," unquote. Guys, downhill. That's like a just. And the government went around and around and around and around and around forever. No, it was 2 guys who did it, and then they drove to Arizona. Where does this stuff come from? Where do people get this false information from? And then they start spreading the information. And it's not true. And I'm not trying to say I told you so, but I am. Listen to me. And I'm not saying I know more than you, but I have spirit. I have these abilities. It's not me who knows the information. It's me receiving the information from spirit. So I'm not saying I'm good. I'm saying spirit's good. So I'm boasting about spirit. And I have had the girls in my presence before. And it's sad. It doesn't feel good when, you know, these young people come into my presence. These particular two girls, I get a different feeling than the Idaho 4. So from the Idaho 4 case, when I've had Maddie and Kaylee in my presence, it's a definite excitement. Hey, oh my God, this lady can hear us. Let's try and give her some information. When I had Libby and Abby in my presence, I need water. I have water in the back seat. When I've had Libby and Abby in my presence, it's not happy. It's not celebratory. It's like, yeah, we were murdered. Like, you know, we had plans. We had plans for ourselves, and we were going to get out of here. And, you know, it is what it is. And they're at peace and everything. But when they first died, it's like, bummer. That's how they felt. Bummer. And they did tell me when this happened that they were not properly watched over. Particularly, they, you know, it was whatever is easy for the adults in their life to do to take care of them, that's what would happen. And a lot of people said, they're 13, 14, they can babysit kids. They can be left alone. No, they cannot. I'm going to argue that till my dying day. So, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. So, Richard Allen, he's the man that killed the kids. He's admitted to it. Up to 6 times. What does that mean? He's admitted it. He's voiced it. Up to 6 times. So 6 times he's told someone official, someone in law enforcement, that he killed the girls. Well, that's enough for me. I'm sorry. And when I saw on YouTube, not a video at this point, I just saw a picture of him. You know how like you see a picture but before you click on the YouTube video? Well, I saw a picture of him. I need my water. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. So, oh my God. I'm so sorry. This is spirit. So when I saw the picture of Richard Allen on YouTube, before clicking on any videos, I looked at him and I said to myself, oh, he's dying. Cool. I know people like me aren't supposed to say things like that. I don't care if the dude's dying. Let him die. Let him suffer. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Oh, oftentimes hummingbirds are spirit. Are there 2 hummingbirds? Could it be Abby and Libby? I only see one. So yeah, so I saw this picture of Richard Allen and I thought, oh good, he's dying. He doesn't look good at all. He looks sick. He looks sick. He looks like death. Literally looks like death to me. Like I can look at somebody and see the death inside of them. And I've watched a few videos on the case. And so what's happening with him and his health is, hold on a second. So when I clicked on the video, that was something they talked about right away, was the way he looked, because he's lost like 100 pounds or something. I mean, no one has said how much weight he's lost, but he was a big guy before. Now he is a small guy. He's a small man now. And he's on a hunger strike. Cool. I don't care. Because I'm a psychic medium and I talk to dead people, you think I'm supposed to be holier than thou? I'm supposed to say, oh, well, that's not good. He's a human being. Not really. He's an animal. He's a monster. And I apologize. I don't remember who it was that asked me about this, but someone asked me in the comments if there's such thing as a natural born killer. Absolutely. There are people that are born who have a wonderful life. They have advantages over other people, but they're killers. And I'm not saying this guy was a natural born killer. This guy, Richard Allen, I don't know anything about him. I don't know where he's from. All I know is that he's 50 years old, but he has trauma. Your trauma is not a hall pass to destroy people, including murder. So, it's like what I mentioned in my previous video about my kids, raising my kids. It's like, I know I'm not the perfect mother, even though I would die for my kids and I would do anything and I try to do everything to protect my kids and raise them properly. It's just impossible to have a 100% family unit. It's just human nature. But, you are responsible for yourself and you don't get to go around being a victim of your circumstances, of your childhood. Certainly there's things that happen that we have to go through and process and recover and heal from in order to be a healthy person again. But you know what I'm saying. So yeah, so he's dying and he's wearing a bulletproof vest, it looks like. He came in wearing a vest and they said it's not actually a bulletproof vest. It's a shock vest to shock him should he misbehave. I would love to see that. I would love to see somebody wearing a shock vest and try and run away or stand up and scream. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are to what point. At what point would you get the shock of your life wearing that vest? I'm sorry. I just don't feel bad. I mean, yeah, he was a baby once. I know, but I've seen people change and it's like, oh, that's unfortunate. But, so I no longer want to associate with you and I don't feel bad when your karma comes back on you. So bye. Adios. The problem I see with him confessing up to 6 times, there's a kitty. Because he confessed up to 6 times to law enforcement, it's created 2 situations now. One, it can corroborate his guilt. It can confirm that he's the one that killed the girls. They found a bullet shell casing that was linked back to him. So that was his faux pas. That's how he was caught, was because of this shell. Why did they know to compare it to the gun and other ballistics from him? Because he's on the video. He's on the video of when he told the girls to go downhill. The second thing, which is a problem, is because he's confessed so many times, it's the defense is going to put into people's minds that this guy's not all there. He's having mental health problems. That's why he's saying it so many times over and over, and that he's not of his mental health is not right. Well, I don't care. We know he did it. He's confessed to it. If he's gone nuts now, which I don't believe he has, I think it's all an act. But if he has gone nuts, well, that's too freaking bad. Maybe it's guilt. I don't think it's guilt, though. He's playing games. Richie Rich Allen. He's a murderer. Don't try not to get sucked in and feel bad for these criminals. Most of the time, they're playing games anyway. So I'm glad he is where he is. The trial starts January of 2024. So I'll be watching that. That's going to be exciting for me to watch. And I mean, I don't want him to kill himself because I want him to suffer in jail. Which I know is different than Kohberger. Kohberger, having him die by firing range squad, that's fitting for him. But this other guy, I would love to just have him brought in jail and do what he needs to do to cope with what he's done. That's that. He's going to be interesting to watch and see how his behavior changes over the course of the next year. So I don't know if there's a death penalty in Indiana, but we shall see. And if you saw my short video I did yesterday or the other day of the crime that happened in front of my house, not on my watch, friend. Not on my watch. No. Right in front of my house, there was a man in a car with his hands around a woman's neck. Thank God the police came quickly, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to have to go out there because I was waiting for the police to show up. And honestly, I'm surprised they came as fast as they did. But I'm like, I don't have a gun. And even if I did have a gun, I don't think I'd pull my gun out and pointed it at somebody in a car in front of my house, But anyway, the police did end up separating these 2 people, and they went their separate ways in the police car. And I hope whatever's going on with those 2 people, that they have just decided it's not healthy. And one of them needs to stay in jail for a while. So anyway. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you for now. We're going to talk about that man in Chad Dorman who assassinated his 3 boys. Unfreaking unreal. So anyway, I could start talking about that right now because I have a lot to say about this guy too. But we'll save that for another video. You guys have a super great day. Throw down your questions in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to try and get this video up tonight. Is it Thursday? It's Thursday tonight. I'm not sure if I can do a live Friday. I might have to do it Saturday. I'll let you know. I'll post it on my community page. So, all right, you guys, take care. See you soon. Bye.